welcome to our Faith. This is the fourth Faith Alumni Conference, and I can see that we're upgrading. Last year we were at Muson, the year before we were at Muson, and it's been a journey, and I would just like to welcome everybody here this morning. I know at Faith Foundations we stick to time. We are people of integrity, we are people of value, and we're all on a journey this morning. And we would like to recognize all our special guests this morning. It's a great pleasure and an honor to see you here today. And I just want us to be ready. We were talking about innovation. Innovation. We all need to innovate for scale. And so without much ado, I want us to get ready. Our businesses are going to take a leap as well. Whatever we take here, we're going to go back and execute. We're going to go back and implement. So just let's get ready for an exciting and impactful conference. And so we're going to bring up our first keynote speaker this morning, our special guest of honor, Mr. Nnamdi Ezeigbo, and he's the CEO of Slot Systems. I'm sure a lot of us have heard about Slots. We all know Slots. Slot is an amazing company. The first time I met Mr. Nnamdi, it was at my Lagos Business School class, and we had studied his, we had done a case study of Slot, and we didn't just do a physical case study. It was not just a case study in paper. I actually brought him to the class. So that day, we were ready to give it to him. And it was so funny. Nnamdi sat next to me, and I was like, wow, all of us know Slots. We all go there for upgrades. We all go there to buy phones, and we're so pleased to have him with us this morning. And he really gave it to us that day. We could follow his story from his humble beginnings to where he is today. So I'll just read a bio for Engineer Nnamdi Ezeigbo, the founder, the managing director of Slot Systems, an indigenous telecommunications and IT company. Slot was incorporated in 1998, and the Slot brand has become a household name for quality mobile phones and accessories. Engineer Ezeigbo is a shining symbol of the irrepressible spirit of a Nigerian entrepreneur. He is passionate, is committed, is resilient, and is hardworking. I think we can clap to that. In addition, Engineer Nnamdi Ezeigbo is the brain behind Techno, the fastest selling mobile phone brand in Nigeria. And if you don't have a Techno, no comments, I'm not marketing here. Engineer Ezeigbo has a BSc in Computer and Electronics Engineering from the Lagos State University, a Master's in Information Technology from Ladoke Akintola University, Ogbomosho, and is also an alumnus of the prestigious Harvard Business School. He established the Slot Foundation and the Slot Academy, which have to date trained and empowered over 1,000 young entrepreneurs to find easier ways of starting their own business through the use of cutting-edge technologies required for present-day telecommunications industry. He is currently in partnership with Edo State Skills Development Agency, Edo Jobs. The Slot Academy is providing mobile phone repair, maintenance training to Edo youths. Slot currently employs over 700 people, and it has established its presence all over the country and very soon all over the world, with over 65 retail stores and an active online store at www.slot.ng.slot. Slot has become the people's brand with trusted products and good customer service. Engineer Ezeigbo was privileged to represent Nigeria in the UK as an Olympic torchbearer for the London 2012 Olympic. He served as a member of the ICT Drafting Committee for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He is the author of the book Entrepreneurship the Slot Way, and he has received numerous awards and recognitions, including the 2018 Outstanding Entrepreneur Award by the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the 2017 Business Day Most Innovative SME Award, and the 2016 Nigerian Telecoms Award. Please let us give a rousing warm welcome, a standing ovation to our first keynote speaker of the day, Engineer Nnamdi Ezeigbo.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be here. Thank you for inviting me. One thing that I think is very passionate to me is the fact that entrepreneurship is becoming popular. Do you agree with me? Yes, entrepreneurship is becoming popular. and this is the way to go. Entrepreneurship, I think, is the most important way to create wealth. Not just to create jobs and create value, but entrepreneurship will help us to create wealth. All right, so I will be speaking on innovating for scale. I want to say that there are so many businesses in Nigeria, And when compared to other African countries, we have more business owners in Nigeria than in most African countries combined. But the problem we have is that we have people who are playing very, very small. That is the difference. We have potentials, but we have people who are playing at a very, very low level. And so if we unleash our entrepreneurial potentials, not only would that impact in our immediate country, Nigeria, it will also transform the rest of Africa. Let me give you a little bit about my entrepreneurial journey. I would like to use some slides to communicate this, to make it very clear. My entrepreneurial journey started in 1998. Of course, you agree with me that for entrepreneurship, you need to have competence. You need capacity. Most importantly for me was the fact that I had no capacity at this time, so I needed to build one. I had no competence. I needed to acquire one. I had no capital. I needed to start small. All right, so capital or funds should not really be a hindrance, so you can start small. So my entrepreneurial journey started from 1998 when I started my own small business. All right, I was able to start very small, and then just like most people, the first 2-3 years of our businesses are usually the try and error system or the try and error period. Does that make sense? So the first 3-4 years was more of try and error period. It was try and error period because there was no business plan. There was no strategy, no vision, to be specific. But we were doing business, we were making money. So there are so many businesses like that. At the stage where you are right now, you are making money, but there's no strategy, no document, and no vision. So I was in that level. So we're doing business, and we're making money, but there was no business plan, no strategy, and no vision. So it took us 3-4 years to realize that we were doing business and that every business must have a vision. And every business must have a strategic plan. And so we were able to come up with a plan, like a growth plan for the business. So I'm going to be speaking on these 3 components: my entrepreneurial journey, the slot business, and eventually innovating for scale. So just to give you a preamble. All right, so when we started business, it was like any other business in Nigeria. Starting a new business in Nigeria from start up is always very messy. Very, very difficult. The business environment is not friendly, and it has never been friendly, and I don't think it would be friendly. So it was a very difficult moment, a very tough period. And so we needed to do business like any other business owner. But most importantly, we needed to be competitive. And so what did we do differently? We came up with a strategic plan, like a growth plan, and we put that in phases. We were able to come up with a growth plan in phases, and we are in 5 phases. So the first phase of our growth plan was to have a strong brand, build a strong brand. Do you have to build a strong brand if you want to communicate your product to your consumers? Yes. Particularly at the low level, particularly at the startup level. In Nigeria, SMEs face this problem of trust. Not because they are not trustworthy, but because consumers find it difficult to trust them because they are small. I think it's a cultural thing. People tend not to trust you because you are small. So at that level, or at that point, we needed to communicate the strong value that we believe in. We needed to communicate that we are a company that is selling reputable brands, a company that is selling authentic products. So we had a campaign to communicate our brand. And so this phase was the phase of communicating the brand. And so we took time to advertise that, and we came up with a tagline called All About Image. The tagline was to communicate that we are so conscious of our brand name. The second phase was the re-engineering phase. We came up with a plan to re-engineer the processes, identify the right people, hire the kind of people that we wanted to run with, because we now had a vision. And so we re-engineered the process, identified the right people, hired them, trained them, and we hired people that we needed, not those who were available. And so people is important, but you need to go with people, those that you need, and not those that you require or that are valuable. We had a plan to grow the business and to build a very robust business system. And so there was need for us, after the first 3-4 years, to come up with a strategic growth plan. This plan was in phases. And so the first phase was to grow the brand and make the brand strong, communicate the brand, and let consumers know that we are selling products that are authentic. At this level, at a very small level, SMEs struggle with trust. This is because the consumers always assume that small businesses do not have trust. Small businesses do not have integrity. And so at this level, we needed to communicate that we have a strong brand and that we are a reputable company. So that was the reason for that particular phase. So that helped us to grow the brand. So during this time, we're committing about 10% of our profit into communication, marketing the brand, making the brand strong, letting consumers know that this is an authentic brand. This is an authentic product. And so after the first phase, we came up with the second phase, which is re-engineering the process. At this phase, we're able to introduce new software to drive the process and to drive the system. We're able to hire new people that aligns with our business expectations. We're not hiring people who were available. We're hiring people that we needed. So there are two different things. Run with those that you need, not those that are available. And so we're able to identify the right kind of people, train them, and allow them to understand our core values and ensure they align with our business system. That really helped us. So we're able to introduce softwares that helped us to drive our process and our processes. All right, so that is the phase of re-engineering the process. Now, the other phase is the phase of expansion. Having grown the brand, we've made the brand popular. After we've made the brand popular and we've introduced a new process, the next phase was to expand the business, which is scaling the business. Scaling businesses, of course, has to do with your business system. You can't scale a business if you don't have a business system. How do you develop a business system? First, you must identify your core business. Know your core business. Grow competence or develop competence to drive your core business. Again, you must know your business model. What is your business model? What business are you doing that helps you to create value that you can use to compete and that you can use to increase your revenue? So identify your business model, identify your core business, and then you can actually build a business system. And so we're able to build a business system that allowed us to replicate or repeat our business model. So your business model must get to a point where it becomes repeatable. if you must scale up your business. Your business model, your business system must get to a point where it becomes repeatable. And so because we were able to build a business system and a business model that is repeatable, we were able to introduce the slot franchise. And so the slot franchise was part of the plan to expand the brand. The slot franchise, for us, was the vehicle that we needed to run in order to expand the brand, increase the spread. Because ordinarily, it would have cost us so much to expand the brand at that point. And so we came up with this slot franchise, and not just that we came up with the franchise model, we also came up with a customized franchise model that aligns with Nigeria culture and style. And that, so far, has been very, very helpful. The other phase of our growth plan is the expansion phase. Expansion phase. You cannot scale up, expand, if you don't have people that you travel with. I call that strategic alliances. I call that partnership. And so we need to build partnership. Like the adage says, if you want to run fast, run alone. And if you want to run far or if you want to go far, run with who? Run with people. And so we're able to introduce or create collaboration with partners that helped us to expand the business. And so it is very interesting to consolidate your business, but you need partners. You need strategic alliances. You need collaboration. And this has to do with your relationship with people within the industry and even outside the industry. And so this is the growth plan, or this is the strategic growth plan that we put in place that helped us to get to where we are today. And you agree with me that if you don't have system in place, you won't be able to sell any of this plan. So we had a good system, which was driven by the smart people, which was driven by the business system, which was driven by the business model, which was driven by the plan itself. And so we've been able to grow this brand using this strategic growth plan. What business do we really do? So with the growth plan, we're able to set up a very robust system to run our retailing business. And then we're able to also introduce other businesses within the ecosystem. And not too far from the core business. So we're also within the adjacents. And so today we do financial services as well. What that means is that you can buy a phone from us and pay over 3 to 6 months. You don't need to go to the bank. No collateral. So we're partnering with a fintech company that allows people to buy phones from us or buy any of our devices and pay over 3 to 6 months, installment payments. All right, so this is also within the ecosystem, not too far from our core business. Again, we have the franchising business, which is also within the ecosystem and not far from the core business. Engineering and production. We are also into engineering services. And so if you buy any of our products, or if you come in with any of our products, any of the electronics we sell, we're able to fix them for you, and you pay for the service. So we have engineering services in all our stores. This is also within the ecosystem and not too far from the core business. We're also into production. We produce accessories, power bank, chargers, and all that. And we're also in alliance or in partnership with Techno. So we're also into production. And then we are in training as well. Training. We have an academy called Slot Academy. Over 1,000 young Nigerians have gone through our academy, and today they are mobile phone technicians. For us, this is also part of our way of giving back to the society. So if you find any mobile phone engineer in Nigeria, they must have gone through our training directly or indirectly. So we started this since 2011, and we've been able to help young people acquire this technology. And so today, if your phone is faulty, you will find a guy who can help you fix them. And we're in partnership with some state governments, like Edo State government. All right, so we've trained about 400 people as far as Edo State government is concerned. just to help create jobs and help improve employability. All right, let's look at innovation, which is the main discussion for the day. Innovating for scale. You can actually define this in a different way. But I'm looking at this definition from an entrepreneurial point of view. What does innovation mean? To the business owner, innovation must affect your growth. Innovation must bring about control. Innovation must bring profitability. And that's why it's called business. Business must be profitable. If a business is not profitable, then it's charity. All right? So you must make profit if you must achieve sustainable growth. And so whatever innovation you are bringing to play must be able to affect your business in these three categories. And that's the value creation as far as I'm concerned. And then to the consumer or to the user, the business also must solve problems. And it must also introduce good products and good services. That's what consumers want. That's value for them. And so innovation is whatever you can do, whether conventional or unconventional, to introduce a new system, introduce a new product, a new service that will help consumers and users create value for them. That's what innovation means. And so today, there are so many businesses that are innovative. But if your business is innovative and you're not making profit from it, you're not growing with that innovation, then the whole essence of the innovation is a waste of time. There are three ways to win in business. One is innovation, two is strategy, and three is luck. I'm sure we can explain the first two, but we can't explain the third one because luck is luck. It happens. And so when so many people make money in Nigeria, you ask them, how did you make the money? They will tell you, "Nah, God." Is that familiar? Do you identify with that? All right. So when people say, "Nah, God," it means luck is playing a very major role. All right. So each time I talk about or I think about scaling, the first thing that comes to mind is entrepreneurial mindsets. You must have an entrepreneurial mindset before you can actually do a business and scale that business. Entrepreneurial mindset is a mindset that makes you become so obsessed with the front line. It's that mindset that helps you to create value. It's that mindset that makes you focus on the customers and not on competition. So entrepreneurs should focus on customers, not on competition. And so an entrepreneurial mindset helps you to create value, helps you to meet the need of the consumers. So you cannot scale up a business if you don't have entrepreneurial mindset. And this is the reason why most businesses remain at the point of just operational. They are operating, they are making profit, but they can't scale up. So entrepreneurial mindset means that you need to have managerial skills, organizational skills, skills that will help you not just create value, but also scale the business. The second point is the business system I talk about. You cannot scale up a business if you don't have a business system. The business system incorporates the processes, the operation, the people, the hiring process, and everything the business believes in, your entire belief system. This is very important. Smart people. You need smart people. Those that you need, not those that are valuable to help you scale up your business. All right? So get them trained, invest in them, and get them to work. Capabilities or resources. Here, like I talked about, partnership is very important. You need partnership. Partnership for me is about who are you traveling with. Do not travel alone. Look for people to partner with. This is very important. Capital, of course, partnership will bring capital as well. Access to fund, access to expertise. Efficiency will come if you have the right partners. A business model, like I said earlier, must be repeatable. Develop a business model and ensure that it's something you can replicate or repeat. This is the reason. Some cases, people have problems with repeating their business model because they can't trust other people. All right, so if you have a business and you want to expand your business, of course, you must trust people who can help you repeat that business model and run that business at different locations and different branches. Strategic positioning. The word strategy is something every business owner must know and understand. What is strategy? Strategy basically is how you intend to be uniquely different from others. How do you intend to be different? What value are you bringing to the table? How do you intend to excite consumers? And how do you intend to make profits? Reduce cost of doing business. Improve your efficiency. Reduce your risk. So if your strategy is not solving the problems of risk, of cost, of time, then that is not the right strategy. Be careful that you protect your strategy, because you might just open up an avenue for someone else to come in, compete, and get you out of that business. Protect your strategy. If you can't protect the strategy, do not introduce it, because consumers or competitors will always copy strategies. Of course, they can't copy culture, but they will always copy strategy. So protect your strategy. Make sure that there is no easy entry or make sure the barrier is high, no easy entry and easy exit. Ensure that you protect your strategy. So be strategically positioned. And then eventually technology. Technology is one very easy way to scale. But you have to understand what kind of technology you need to use. Leverage on platforms, leverage on internet, leverage on anything called technology to improve efficiency. If you can't improve your efficiency using technology, then something is wrong with your business model. So every business has provision that can allow technology to be used to solve complex problems, complex situations. All right, benefit of having a very innovative business model or a very innovative system is, one, your cost of doing business will go down because economies of scale will come to play. This is very important. Your revenue will go up, and when revenue goes up, profit eventually will go up, as long as you know how to reduce your cost of doing business. And then finally, you attract new partners, new strategic partners, because your business has scaled up, your business has potential, and your business has what it takes to attract the right kind of people. Ensure that your partners are people who are bringing expertise, people who are not just bringing money, but they are bringing expertise. They are called smart money partners. Smart money partners. So they must bring expertise, efficiency. Things we've done in terms of innovation as far as our business is concerned, we've been able to introduce a very robust distribution system that helps us to reduce cost of distribution by partnering with the manufacturing companies to help us do distribution of our products. We have a trade-in and cashback process where you can walk into any of our stores with your old phone and you can trade it for a new one. Just pay a small amount of money. We know that Nigerians are very trendy people, and so we're able to key into that. And so you can also get cashback from our stores. The surrogate franchise. Ours is called surrogate because it's not the regular franchise business. This time, we've been able to tweak it to align with Nigerian lifestyle, culture, and people. All right, so with our business franchise model, you can actually invest in a store. You don't need to own the entire store. You can invest in that store. And that, for me, is very attractive. The dual SIM, we introduced the first dual SIM in Nigeria, and today Techno is a big brand in Nigeria. Over 3,000 people have been able to, they are part of the system in terms of job creation. And that, for me, is wonderful. So we are not just doing business in Nigeria, we're also involved in wealth creation. The omnichannel, which is the online and offline process, where our online has become an extension of the offline stores. So whatever you find online, you can actually pick them up from any of the physical stores. Our in-store engineers, these are people that have gone through the Slot Academy. Now they've been hired to also work in the store. So job has been created and service is also being rendered. And then eventually the electronic data interface. We've been able to introduce a software that allows us to monitor every of our device. So if you buy a device from us and within a year your phone or your whatever is faulty, you don't need to come back with your receipt. We don't need your receipt. We're able to look at the device, pick the IME number, and identify when that phone was purchased, what store which of the stores was it purchased from, and that will help consumers to actually get value. So imagine you bought a device, and after a month, your device has problem, and you can't find the receipts. That would be a lot of trouble. But in our case, because of the EDI, we're able to identify that this device is coming from us. And so we've been able to introduce some innovative product that has helped us to scale our businesses, create jobs for Nigerians, create wealth for our people, and most importantly, help us make little money to be able to also play in this sector. Nigerian business environment is a very competitive business environment. At the SME level, it is very, very tough. Why? Because some things are not regulated. And so you are like one who is fighting in a jungle where there is no referee. Do you have referees in jungles? Imagine if you are playing football and there's no referee. What will happen? All right. Imagine you are fighting Mike Tyson as a boxer and there's no referee. What happens? All right. So in most of these sectors, as SMEs, in most of the sectors, there are no referees, no regulations. So the guys that you're competing with, their companies are not even registered. So how do you compete with such person? All right? So at the end of the day, you want to do things right, you want to be very ethical, but these guys don't care. So you need to be a little bit aggressive. You need to have a strategy that will align with these whole cultural issues. Now, the next slide is from me. Thank you.